Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a freelance 2D animator. I mostly work in children's TV, but I'm currently developing some personal projects, and this channel is where I post about that journey. At the moment, I'm working on some character turns for one of my projects, and in my previous video, I was aiming to get the turns for my ghost character finalised, just making sure that it looked good and consistent from all angles with no pops or mistakes, before moving on to the final colour cleanup. In this video, I'm focusing on my girl character, and I'm at the stage where I'm finally ready to add colour to her turns. So today, I thought it might be nice to venture outside, head into Central, and see if I can find somewhere cosy to sit for a couple of hours and get some work done. I'm thinking to head to the Southbank along the Thames and either check out the Tate Modern or the National Theatre. So, I don't know, we'll see where we end up. Hopefully I'll get a good amount of work done. And of course, you're welcome to come along. So, the plan for today is simple. 1. Head to the Southbank and find a spot to set up to work. 2. Finish colouring my character turns. And 3. Pack up in good time to join the critical mass bike ride through the streets of London. Yeah, so that's the plan. My bag is packed. Let's pop you guys inside and we'll be on our way. I took the train into Central and walked across Golden Jubilee Bridge towards Southbank, one of my favourite views of London. I love this area. The shows, the events, the exhibitions, the people watching. The atmosphere is always buzzing with creativity and life, and it's one of those places that reminds me why I love this city. First, I headed to Royalfestivalhall. I walked around for a bit, scouting for a place to set up, but everywhere was busy. I was about to head over to the National to try my luck there, when suddenly I spotted a table. It had power outlets, a cafe nearby, and music drifting through the hall from a nearby rehearsal. Honestly, the music was the main reason I decided to stay, and I'm so glad I did. It was so lovely listening to the rehearsal while I worked, and this piece of music in particular was really beautiful. Once I set up, I could feel my mind settling. Life has been really frantic lately, so today wasn't just about working on my character, it was also an opportunity to find some peace and focus. In the last video, I locked down the character turns, making sure that the character looked consistent across every angle. I'm starting to realise that when you're building everything on your own, it becomes imperative to check every stage meticulously, because once you move on to the next, there's no one to check it for you later. So with these designs, I had to be sure that everything is airtight and correct, because these are the foundations for the character rigs, the animation, everything to do with this project. While my ghost character had been simple to colour, with the girl I wanted her to feel more vibrant, so I added more depth and shading. However, with these extra details, it could make building this character more difficult later on when I reached the rigging stage, so I had to remind myself to keep it simple. However, with this project, because there are so many uncertainties and things I'm attempting for the first time, it can be easy to overthink things. So I'm really working hard to be mindful of that. When it comes to your creative projects, what part of the process are you struggling with right now? Whenever I have a creative block, feel overwhelmed or uninspired, I find that days like this, where I leave the house in search of a new location to work, changes everything. This is actually a well-studied effect, that changing your environment can genuinely unlock your creativity. And it's not just a feeling. There are psychological and neurological factors at work when you get out of your comfort zone. Firstly, novelty stimulates the brain. This activates the attention and reward systems, increasing dopamine, which is strongly linked to creative thinking and generating new ideas. Second, you escape what's called context-dependent thinking. When you're at home, your brain associates that space with your daily routines, and those associations can subtly constrain the way you think. There's also something known as stimulus richness. When you're outside, you're surrounded by unpredictable inputs, people, architecture, movement, environmental changes, and so on. And these give your brain raw stimulus to work with that feeds your imagination far more than a static indoor setup. So, if you're an artist, a dreamer, or someone trying to build something to call your own, and you've been feeling stuck recently, whether that be mentally, physically, or creatively, venturing outside and finding a new spot to be creative might just help reset you creatively. Okay, hi guys. So it's a couple of days later and I completely forgot to film the section, so doing it now. But I just quickly wanted to catch you up on the final outcome. So here are the turns for my girl character, fully coloured and finally finished. So the next stage is going to be to design some outfits for her. And you may be wondering, Maria, why don't you just design her with clothes? Wouldn't that be easier? And yes, that would have been easier. But the reason I've designed her without clothes is because this project is seasonal. And I really want her to change her outfits from month to month. So my plan is to design one master rig without clothes, and then to design outfits which I can build and add into it. Yeah, I know it can be done. I've not done it personally, but I know it can be done. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Another thing I'm thinking to do is to design some outfits for my ghost character. And for any of you here who are new and haven't seen my previous videos, this is my ghost character. So obviously it's a ghost, it doesn't need outfits. And if I design outfits, it's going to be a ton of work overall, but it could be cute. So yesterday I was all for the outfits, and today I've just been like, oh, not really sure if I want to do that. So I'm going to open it out to you guys. What do you think I should do? Should I design some outfits? Should I not bother? Yeah, just let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate your feedback. After finishing my work session, I grabbed some food, rented a bike, and made my way to the critical mass meet point where hundreds of cyclists were gathering. Then at 7:30, everyone set off, all of us moving together like a wave through the streets of London. Having days like this, venturing out to a new location, working on something creative before ending the day cycling through the cities surrounded by movement and people, can feel so cathartic. I think many of us are trying to figure out how to build lives that feel meaningful, figuring out how to work, create and grow while feeling more in tune with ourselves and what makes us happy. So if you're out there quietly building something after work while juggling responsibilities amongst the chaos of modern life, I hope this reminds you that slow progress still counts. And if you'd like to follow the journey of this project and everything I'm learning along the way while building it, subscribe to come along. And tell me what you're working on too. I'd genuinely love to know. Thanks for spending the day with me, and I'll see you next time.